Ravens Wrap is sponsored by Bud Light, Holiday Inn Express, the Ocean City Golf Club, Comfort Inn, Russell Street Report, the original Green Turtle, and hosted by the Blue Ox Bar and Grill.
In April 1959, Art Wall won the Masters, edging out Carey Middlecoff and Arnold Palmer by finishing birdie, 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 par birdie. 1 month later, Ocean City Golf Club celebrated the opening of their first 18 holes. That course has been transformed now into one of the most scenic golf layouts on the East Coast. Come experience 36 of the most beautiful and challenging holes you'll find anywhere. Ocean City Golf Club in Ocean City, Maryland.
And welcome back in. It is the original Green Turtles Ravens Wrap Show right here on Comcast Beach TV and Delmarva's Rock Radio 93.5 The Beach. We are broadcasting from the Ravens Room here at the Blue Ox, 127th Street and Coastal Highway in Ocean City with Ravens Roost 44. Give yourselves a hand, guys and gals. And, of course, a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all out there. Hey, the Ravens Wrap Show is brought to you by the original Green Turtle, of course, the Blue Ox Bar and Grill, our friends at Bud Light, the Comfort Inn Gold Coast, Geico, the Ocean City Golf Club, jctickets.net, and the Holiday Inn Express. Mike Bradley, John Garrigan, our special guests, our New York Giants insider from the OCPD, Dennis E. Dennis, welcome on the program.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Thanks for having me. Take it easy on me now. All right.
I'm all caught up with my speeding tickets. That's a thing of the past. So I think I'm good to go with everything.
As of right now.
As of right now, that's right. That's right. So, well, welcome into the program here. We've, we were talking off the air a little bit. As John said, we'd love to raggle you a little bit, but I tell you what, both teams in a little bit of a hole in terms of losing streaks here. The Ravens with a 3-game. I think you guys with a couple of games as well. I know a tough loss, obviously, to the Atlanta Falcons last week, 34-0. Before that, you creamed the Saints, but then lost to the Redskins by 1 on Monday night. So
that's exactly it, Mike. And I can kind of feel the Ravens' pain a little bit in the inconsistency. You see the New York Giants come out and put up 52 points against the New Orleans Saints, and then the next week you can't score a point.
Right.
And it's a bit frustrating, but we've been here before. That's the one thing we can say as Giants fans is. We've been against the wall before and had some pretty good years out of that. So hopefully
we're going all in. What was the guy's name before Coughlin? What's our offensive coordinator? Dude from the Giants. We beat in the Super Bowl. What's that guy?
Oh, Jim Fossil.
Jim Fossil. Oh yeah,
we're putting all our chips in.
We try not to remember that.
Well, Dennis, I think Ravens fans are trying to borrow from what the Giants have done in their previous 2 Super Bowl outings, saying, hey, the Giants, they at times had struggles in the middle of the year, but they finished strong and they got on a roll in time for the playoffs. And I think as Ravens fans here, these last 2 games, I guess we're hoping, hey, if we could win the last couple of games and go into the playoffs strong, we'll be good to go despite our shortcomings here of the last 3 games. So I guess we're going to try to take a page out of the Giants playbook a little bit.
Well, and again, I think a lot of the NFL teams would like to do that. They'd like to get healthy at the right time. They'd like to peak at the right time, and they'd like to be going into the playoffs again, healthy and strong, and do what the Giants were fortunately enough, able to do in the last 5 years. 2 Super Bowls in the last 5 years. Again, some struggling months, particularly the month of November. You would see the Giants just reeling.
That's Coughlin's worst as a head coach. Yeah, I think he had issues like that with Jacksonville.
Yeah,
well.
and kind of what we saw against the Atlanta Falcons. You see the Giants come out again. You watch them the week before against the Saints, and they have a spectacular game. And you can see it. You watch TV, and you can see it. You can see the guys flying around, making tackles all over the field. And then you come out against the Saints. First play of the game, Eli throws an interception. Sante Samuel nearly returns it for a touchdown. Now the defense is on the field trying to protect 16 yards before Atlanta scores. And as you mentioned earlier, you can kind of see the momentum go right down the tubes. You see Eli's confidence go down the tubes, and you're fighting, you're scratching the rest of the game, and it's ugly. As you said, John, when we were off screen, not many times in the NFL that you're seeing shutouts, and when you do, it's kind of disheartening.
Yeah, a lot has to go wrong for that, Dennis. And you know, the Giants have perfect. We're talking about this formula, and we saw it with the Packers when they made the run. Similar to the Ravens going way back to when the Ravens made their run. They had that long winning streak to close out the season without a loss. Steelers did it when they were the 6th seed. So you see these teams, and sometimes you need to go through that adversity a little bit, through those down times to learn how to fight to get out of it almost. And then when the team really gels and comes together and that locker room really builds, knowing that together you came out of the adversity. And then that momentum, talking about momentum, that can just carry you. And I think a lot of teams are looking for that magic the Giants had last, because the Giants kind of came out of nowhere last year.
No question.
It was really under the radar. Everyone's talking about the Packers, and they just kind of built their way up.
No question. Like you said, remember, a 9-7 regular season team and Super Bowl champs. Again, they came out of nowhere for Giants fans too, not just everybody else watching. It was a pleasant surprise, though. And we hope, again, as you guys mentioned, that you can find that momentum going into the playoffs. Big game for us. You guys mentioned it earlier. Big game for us as well as Giants fans, and it should be a good one. I think it's going to pan out to be a good one.
I guess one could argue on the outside, well, at least the Ravens have clinched a playoff berth. The Giants have not. But that said, if you're really a Ravens fan, yeah, we could use this win as much as the Giants, even though, yes, we are in the playoffs. But, yeah, we need a W right now.
Yeah, I tell you, I think this game is very intriguing because you have two really good teams. I don't think anyone would be surprised if either team gets in and does a little damage in the playoffs. Either one. So one of these two teams is not going to do that, I believe. Even though the Ravens are in, if the Ravens lose this game, I just don't see how the mojo is just – that's going to be a tough task to turn that around after a 4-game losing streak, losing 3 at home, 3 in a row at home, and all. It's just bad. And then the Giants, of course, will be out. So one of these teams is going to be in trouble with two teams that could potentially make a little run here.
Dennis, from an outsider's point of view, I don't know how much you've had a chance to watch some of the Ravens games, but from an outsider's point of view, from a Giants point of view, what do you see with this Ravens team right now and their season in general? Well,
you see a team that's always got proud tradition in their defense, and you see a team that can get after the quarterback a little bit. And again, there's inconsistencies with the New York Giants. There's games where we can come out and our offensive line plays well and they keep Eli upright, and as a result, we end up having a pretty good game. Again, 52 points against the Saints. The Saints aren't getting to Eli. If we go in against the Baltimore Ravens and we do what we did against the Atlanta Falcons last week, and Eli's getting hit, Eli's throwing interceptions, if we get behind, we could be in trouble. That's at least what I feel. If we go in and we have a start like we had against the Atlanta Falcons, against the Baltimore Ravens in M&T Stadium, we let the Ravens get the momentum, we let the Ravens crowd get into it, we're scraping and we're fighting off of our back, I think the Giants could be in trouble.
Yeah, I got to tell you, John, we got down to Denver just watching on the TV, one of the few home games I'm watching on TV, but there wasn't much there, and the life got sucked out of the stadium there, and you hope that that's not going to be the case if things go a little bad early on Sunday. It's tough.
It's tough being a fan. I mean, we've all been to the games, but it's tough when you're just watching a complete meltdown. But I want to say this: the fans have been weak all year long at the bank. I mean, it just has. The Steeler game was not the same. I said that here. It was kind of a snooze fest. The crowd, it was out of it, and I think it's time for the fans to step up and show some support. I mean, we are the 12th man, and we're not acting like it.
Health-wise, going into this game, and Dennis, we want to get an update on the Giants. I know with the Ravens, John, we've talked about this. Jameel McClain's out for the year. Ray Lewis may or may not take his spot this week. We'll have to find out. Torrey Smith, as of Wednesday, did not practice with the concussion. Bernard Pollard, we still don't know about. Danielle Ellerbe, we don't know about. Ed Dixon, did practice today. So did Ellerbe, but again, no guarantees there. Tanda Doss didn't practice today. Bernard Pierce has the concussion to back up to Ray Rice. Marshall Yanda doesn't know about Sunday either, although he's usually a gamer. A lot of injuries coming into this game, though, again, that we've had to deal with over the last couple of weeks. So we could be down a few men.
You talk about your offensive line. I'm telling you something. With these pass rushers you have, if our offensive line doesn't come to play, it's Joe Flacco may have his consecutive game streak snapped here. So.
That could be. Dennis, how do the Giants right now, health-wise, how are they?
Well, we're banged up as well, and we've got some key injuries. We have a couple of offensive linemen that didn't practice. today, and we're injured in the game against the Falcons. Our center and our guard, Chris Snee, our All-Pro guard, was injured. Didn't practice today. What the outcome's going to be for the game, whether he's going to be available or not, I don't know. Ahmad Bradshaw didn't suit up against the Falcons. That's an important start for us. Of course, we know Dave Wilson, our rookie, came out and had a great game against the Saints and ran all over the field, had a kickoff return. Comes out against the Falcons, gets, I think, 12 touches, and more or less gets shut down. We were hoping for him to have a big game against the Falcons, and it just wasn't there. So we need Ahmad Bradshaw back into the mix. Hakeem Nicks on a bum leg. He's got a bad knee, and you can see it. If you watch the games, you can see his route running. You can see his speed is affected by it. We see guys like Dominic Hickson stepping up as a wide receiver for the Giants and catching balls, but Hakeem Nicks is a guy we need. A big injury, or it wasn't injury, now back into the mix is Kenny Phillips, our safety. He's going to apparently he's practicing on a limited basis today, and looks to be back for this game against the Ravens, and that's a key guy to have back in our defensive mix, because our defensive coordinator Perry Fuel likes to go with that 3-safety look. Where he can move Antrell Roll down into the box, particularly going against a guy like Ray Rice, and help us with the run game. And so Kenny Phillips getting back into the game, he was a guy that we had available during the Saints game, and it's key for us to go with that 3-safety package, because that seems to be our best defensive look. So good news on the injury front as we get him back this week.
Yeah, John, just taking a look at the schedule and seeing some of the teams the Giants have played, and how good they can be when they're on. You think about going back to Sunday, October 14th, going out to San Francisco and taking care of business 26-3. Now, I know that was earlier in the year, but still at the time, that was a good San Francisco team. They've been pretty consistent this year, so it's not like they caught them in a bad stretch or anything like that. That's a little scary when you take a look at that. They beat a Redskins team earlier this year that obviously we lost to. You look at the Green Bay game on Sunday night. I mean, they manhandled the Green Bay Packers. So we certainly have our work cut out for us if we get the A game. And again, that is the question. But if they do bring it, boy, we're going to be in for a good one, John.
I tell you, I still haven't determined what my prediction is going to be. It's going to be that it's just a hard. The Ravens have been very, very predictable, I think. I actually predicted them to lose 7 in a row going into the first Steelers game. Of course, Ben got hurt. I have no idea what's going to happen this week, but I'll figure it out in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah. Should be a lot of fun. Well, I tell you what, we talk regionally, in this area. Of course, you got the Ravens fans, Redskins fans, you got Steelers and Eagles, and also you do have, a fair amount of Giants fans as well. So we'll see if the Ravens can get bragging rights for one of them, because we didn't take care of getting business against the Eagles. We didn't do it against the Redskins. We did split against the Steelers, fair enough. But it'd be nice to have some regional bragging rights for at least one of them. And, of course, conversely, I'm sure you guys would like to have a little bit as well.
It's been a rough month. I mean, we lose to the Steelers and the Skins back-to-back. So. Anyway, are we done here or what?
Yep. No, we got about 60. We got about 60 seconds, so I don't want to break it down too much.
I saw hand signals.
I want to break it down too much, but coming up in the next segment, we'll break it down even further between the Ravens and Giants, and also we'll do a recap of the AFC North on how some of the other teams did and some of the scenarios for the Ravens and the other teams as it pertains to week number 16 in the NFL, 15 for a lot of these teams, because it's coming down to the very wire. So between the AFC North and the NFC East, it's a pretty tight race between all these three teams. So we'll talk about that coming up as well, and again, we'll kind of touch upon some of these injuries and who we think may play or not play. So we'll get to all that coming up. It is the Ravens Wrap Show right here on Comcast Beach TV and Delmarva's Rock Radio, home of the Ravens, 93.5 The Beach. We're back after this.
Ravens Wrap is sponsored by Bud Light, Holiday Inn Express, the Ocean City Golf Club, Comfort Inn, Russell Street Report, the original Green Turtle, and hosted by the Blue Ox Bar and Grill.
Welcome to the Comfort Inn Gold Coast. Conveniently located just 1 block from the beach and adjacent to shopping at the Gold Coast Mall and the movie theater. Newly renovated and open year-round with a marvelous bayfront view. Visit us on the web at comfortgoldcoast.com and see our hot deals and great golf packages, or simply call our direct reservation line to plan your stay.